Hello, my name is Matthew Mercer. I'm a voice actor and the Dungeon Master for Geek and Sundry's Critical Role, and welcome to my fun little video series on tips and tricks for Game Masters and Dungeon Masters alike. Today, we're going to be discussing player rewards. That's right, players, we're talking about you and what makes you happy. First and foremost, money's always good. Giving away money in the game as general currency is a helpful way to reward players for finding cool little hidden alcoves, for defeating powerful enemies, for completing story arcs. You know, gold is that kind of open currency in role-playing games, or credits and other forms of currency in sci-fi and modern games. It's always a good go-to, but you want to consider the current player level and what their financial situation is, and then provide rewards accordingly. If the players have come into a heck ton of money through just sheer luck, or if they've earned it, then so maybe start considering other alternative rewards that aren't directly monetarily, just building onto that giant treasure hoard that they've been building. Keep it interesting. And also keep in mind, not all enemies drop gold. Something weirder than, killing a bugbear and it coughs up 56 gold pieces. You wonder, first off, where it hit it, and two, how'd you find it? So, consider that some of these creatures or things that wouldn't carry money on them may have spirited away from the corpses of things they've killed and brought them to hidden alcoves or nests or burrows where they live, and you'll find it kind of under all the sticks and refuse in that area. You might find some pretty cool items or sacks of money that was left behind by these unfortunate souls that crossed this creature's path in the past. There's also private collections that bad guys may have in their abode, or crooked merchants may keep secret cache of hidden artifacts. There are cool ways to find loot after a battle aside from just finding it in their pockets immediately on them. I know that's what we're used to in a lot of video games, but it doesn't have to be that way. Another cool way to reward your players, and a consistent way to do it, equipment upgrades, whether that be cool futuristic sniper rifles or a magical flaming, short sword. Most systems have a really good way to track player advancement and corresponding equipment power levels. Usually these are in like the Game Master's guides or those sections of the systems, but they'll have some good suggestions as to when and how often you should dole out these type of equipment-based rewards. Make sure you don't want to dole it out too often, because one, they lose their impact and their cool factor when the players do find them, when all of a sudden it's like, oh look, another magical shield, and they just throw it over their shoulder. They become less appreciative of these cool rewards, and it kind of unbalances the game. Which, if this does happen, especially if you're new to the GMing system and after a while you realize, oh, the players are really kind of well decked out and powerful stuff, and they're kind of killing everything I throw at them that should be fair challenge, you're in control of that spigot. Make it tight, slower trickle, give out different things for a while and let it balance itself out. Totally doable. And also, don't be afraid to customize and create equipment and items if you can't find something in the books or the Dungeon Master Guide or any of the treasure hoard, supplements you find out there that fit what you want to give the players. But feel free to create stuff. They can be tailored to players or tailored to in-game events. And if you are worried about it not being balanced or being too powerful or too weak, there's a whole wonderful thing called the internet. There are wonderful, tabletop RPG communities that are more than willing to give you feedback on items before you dole it out to a player. You can go on forums, go on Reddit, and be like, hey guys, does this seem cool? And they might be like, no, that's too powerful, or no, that's bullshit. In which case, you just go ahead and tweak it. Criticism can be harsh on occasion, but they're all there to help, and they're all there to help each other make a better experience. So don't be afraid to ask the internet for some balancing help. There are also alternative rewards you can give out outside of both money and items. You can give bonus experience points if someone does something really cool in a game or completes a really major story arc. Just give them a little bump of XP to get them to that next level a little faster. There's also jewels and rare art pieces or contraband that can be found, that can be traded or sold in other aspects of the world if you have the right connections in that society. And it's kind of cool if you have the opportunity and the time, you can create actual small props when you give these out. You can find plastic jewels pretty cheap online if you wanted to give someone a few actual gems at the table. If someone wanted to find a rare art piece, you could actually get like a really cheap picture frame and pass it over. It's cool to create small props when you're giving out some of these rewards that might correspond to it as well, and it kind of elevates the experience for the players at the table. Some rewards could be alliances. If you end up doing something really cool in a city or within a society, you might, through that experience, gain new allies, and that can lead to access to new merchants and the ability to purchase things you couldn't previously have access to having discounts on those commerce, finding rare equipment that is now, as opposed to just being found, can be purchased, are now readily at your access. Other cool things, especially if they are dealing with RPGs that have gods or magic power that is beyond the mortal realm, you can be granted boons. These boons can be like if you do something really good for a good deity and help defeat evil in a land and cleanse it of some curse. The deity that looks over that realm might come down and be like, you are my chosen champion. For this good gift I grant to you. And they touch that player and all of a sudden they're given a permanent +1 to their constitution. That's a reward you could totally do. And it kind of fits into the theme and it's a pretty awesome ability, you know? It could be even temporary boons, like for the next month or so, you have an additional resistance against this type of damage, you know? So they can be permanent or temporary boons, but they also work as good story rewards. Also, transportation. If you do a cool story, you might get a new mount, or you know, you might be able to commandeer or be granted a great spaceship that can travel twice as fast across the galaxy, or is able to warp to, you know, previously inaccessible portions of that galaxy. Even just faster transport to get you from point A to point B a lot quicker. Those make for great rewards, and I mean, there's overall the progression reward, which is the access to previously inaccessible areas on your map. That involves, you know, getting access to or paperwork that allows you to bypass a barrier that previously you could not, or there was a landscape that was previously at war with the kingdom that you're part of. Once you manage to stop that war, you can now enter that kingdom without being attacked, and you have access to all the secrets and all the knowledge and all the power that that kingdom has. You know, that's a really great long-term reward too out of the story as well that could tie into all the rest of what I just discussed. So looking over these, think of what different creative ways you can reward the players as your story goes on to keep it both interesting, varied, and for you at least, feel like you're appropriately rewarding different cool actions and successes that the party manages to achieve as they progress. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been somewhat helpful and entertaining for you as a Dungeon Master, Game Master, otherwise. You can check out more of these videos on geekandSundry.com, and I will see you around one way or another.